Fun fact, I was actually planning a different video for today. However, given our current predicament, the items that I needed have yet to be delivered to me. So today I'll be doing another creepy reading. However, this one is a bit more special because it's a listener tale. So in case you have a story that you've written or you just find one particularly interesting and would like to hear it featured on my channel, just send it to me and I'll work my magic. And also, as is custom with all my story ASMR, this video will not contain any ads for your listening pleasure. So if you want to support me, just send me pictures of your pets. I know I just refuse to show my Patreon 2 videos in a row, so take that as you wish. And onward to our story. The Night Meadow by Ian Scott Rogers. Deep in the White Mountains of Arizona, there is a place called Hannigan Meadow. It's a place high up on top of the road, a small lodge, a couple cabins, and a quiet campground surrounded by forests in every direction. The nearest town is 30 miles away, an hour's drive down on the winding steep mountain roads. It's a place that exists in solitude, far away from the influence of mankind. Weaving through the mountains, there used to be trails that were used decades ago, but slowly people have stopped coming to Hannigan Meadow, and the forest has been reclaiming what is rightfully its own. Trees grow in the middle of old hunting roads, hiking trails disappear into the aspen and pine thickets. Names carved in the bark of old trees fade away under the seasons. My friend and I had found it by accident one day after driving 5 hours to a camp spot that turned out to be dry and barren. We drove back to the nearest town and looked at local maps to find a backup place to spend the weekend. As we were searching, a name caught my eye on a map mounted on the wall of a gas station. Hannigan Meadow. The locals said it was a good place to camp, so we took a chance and drove up into the mountains. When we got there, we thought it was perfect. Beautiful, lush trees of pine, ash, and spruce. Mountain meadows filled with golden and purple flowers. We spent the whole weekend there and vowed to always come back there at least once a year for summer vacation. Months pass and we decide to make an autumn trip there. The second time we got there, things are different. It was colder, the sky wasn't as bright, the colors are muted, the sound of the wind brought the story of coming death. Winter was approaching. We learned that when the first snow fell, the lodge and the campground were abandoned until spring. For 4 months every year, Hannigan Meadow was empty. For 4 months, wild things crept back into the meadows and forests. Things that have always existed there and have never been driven away by the movement of man. We also learned that the Hannigan Meadow lay on the doorstep of the Apache Reservation, a place where white people aren't allowed to be. A vast stretch of mountains and forests that have never been conquered, where all things lived in the hidden places. Tales are told of evil spirits and all things that live in these mountains, powers that rule the earth before the coming of man. People went missing on the reservation and most were never found. Some say it was the skinwalkers, but the Apache say that those only appear on Navajo lands, far north down in the desert. But The Navajos say otherwise. On the second night we stayed there, it was a new moon. We could see every star in the sky, even nebulas and the Andromeda galaxy with just our eyes. It was the four of us, John, Travis, Alex, and myself. We had spent a day in a place we called Blue Meadow, a place nestled between two steep hills where a stream flowed and the grass grew tall and soft. Alex and I decided we wanted to go back there and experience the full night sky without trees blocking our view, to see the entire vast expanse of the universe above. Travis and John stayed back, content on drinking whiskey and smoking weed. Alex and I put on warm hiking coats and grabbed 2 rifles we brought with us. Although Hannigan Meadow is a beautiful place, it hides a lot of danger. The mountain range that it lies in is home to every major land predator in North America. The only other places where they all live together are in southern Alaska and Canada. Black bear, gray wolf, mountain lion, coyote, red wolf, and grizzly bear. We knew that going out into the woods at night in the place we were in could be dangerous, so we planned accordingly. We left the warmth and light of the campfire and hiked into the woods. We took the path we normally took to get there, across the campground forest, down across an abandoned hunting road, down a steep mountain slope following the trail until it disappeared into the trees, and then cross-country through bushes and forests until we reached the clearing. All told, it's about a mile. That may not sound like much, but a mile is a long way on foot and even longer at night. We reached the meadow and welcomed the incredible beauty of the night sky. We found a spot to lay down, and if I looked up while laying on the grass, all I could see was the sky. We were one with the universe. But knowing the dangers of the woods, we took turns laying down and gazing at the stars. I napped first, while Alex stood watch, and then he took his turn. As I was standing watch, I heard a noise from the tree line. About 100 yards away, the distinct sound of a branch being broken and leaves being crushed. The sound of a footstep. At first there was just the one, then another, and another. A slow, steady cadence of leaves being crushed. And there was something weird about this. When an animal walks, there is a certain rhythm that having 4 legs creates. A quick, stilted cadence, even at slow speed because of 4 feet hitting the ground. But this was different. This had the rhythm of something not with 4 legs, but just 2. Alex sat up. Did you hear that? I nodded. Yeah, it's coming from the tree line. We both got up, turned on the flashlights. They were extremely bright and nearly the entire meadow was lit up in the beams. The light even pierced to the tree line for a good 30 to 40 feet. We pointed our lights directly at where the sound was coming from, but there was nothing there. No movement, no flash of light in the direction of an animal's eyes, just the sound slowly walking the perimeter of the meadow. Alex grew nervous. That sounds like it's something big. Do you think it might be a bear? Maybe. We're in bear country after all, but those footsteps are weirding me out. I've never heard a bear or a deer or anything else walk like that. It sounds like a human foot. You know how the heel hits first, followed by the toes? Alex agreed. Yeah, it definitely sounds like something bipedal. I unslung my rifle and raised the bolt, loading around into the chamber. We should probably head back. Whatever it is, judging by the pace it's circling the meadow, it's big, and we should avoid it at all costs. Alex agreed, but we stood there, following the sound with our lights. Crunch, 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 crunch. Why can't we see it? It's right on the edge of the trees. We're flashing these huge lights at it. It knows we're here, Alex said. Maybe something knew we were there. Maybe something knew we couldn't see it. The footsteps were on the other side of the meadow now. They had circled us halfway around the tree line, and the rhythm never ceased. I made a motion to move. Alright, let's head back. Let's make a lot of noise and talk loudly to scare off whatever it is. Predators don't usually like confident prey. The footsteps were on the opposite side from where we came from, so we figured it was time to leave. We made our way back up the slope to the trees and up the old trail. We flashed our lights, we spoke to each other about nothing very loudly. Sometimes we shouted our responses to questions. We made every attempt to scare everything in the woods around us. After half an hour of climbing back up the old hunting road, we sat down and took a rest. Alex took off his backpack and sighed. Man, that was strange. What the hell was that? I took a drink from my water bottle. I know, man. Something about that wasn't right. Why couldn't we hear it approach the meadow? Why couldn't we see it even though that sound was right at the tree line? Was it stalking us? Maybe it was a wolf or something, but I don't know. In the years that had followed since that night, in the hikes and travels I have done through the mountains and woods, I have been stalked by mountain lions, approached by wolves, and avoided black bears. In all those times, nothing ever sounded like what I heard that night. Animals are curious more than anything. Predators will approach humans and back off when they smell our strange scent, see our lights, and hear our weird calls to each other. And they aren't nearly as sneaky as they think they are. I've watched a mountain lion stalk me directly in front of my vision, thinking I couldn't see it. It moved from tree to tree, pausing to see if I made a move, which in its mind meant I saw it. But my human eyes are more powerful, more perceptive than any animal, and I can read intent, I can see purpose. And when the mountain lion got within a stone's throw, I jumped up and shouted, and it ran away like it saw a ghost. As Alex and I sat on a fallen tree, catching our breath, suddenly we noticed a great silence around us. Our eyes met for a moment, and in the dim starlight we held our breath. Suddenly, not 30 feet away down the slope, we heard a sound. The sound of something moving. The sound of something with two legs running towards us. I have never in my life before or since, ran as fast as I did in that moment. We cleared the 100 yards back to the camp in mere moments, sprinting and stumbling over roots and rocks. The sound was right behind us. I could hear it over the crashing sound of our own steps. As soon as I saw the campfire, I yelled to Travis and John as I ran like a madman towards them. "John, get the shotgun. Get the fucking gun." John and Travis bolted up from their chairs. John didn't even hesitate. He grabbed the shotgun from the camp table and ran towards me, with Travis following behind him with a spotlight. Alex and I reached the campfire and we wheeled around to form a gun line with John. We stood there, guns in hand, shaking with adrenaline, waiting to shoot. But there was nothing. No sound save from the panting breath from Alex and I. John scanned the trees. What was it? What the fuck was it? I don't know. Something ran after us. It wasn't a bear though. John walked forward. "Fuck that. I'm not getting attacked while I'm asleep. Follow me." With Travis holding the light at his side, Alex and I followed John back towards the road. We spread out and hunted, rifles at the shoulder. We made it back to the road but found nothing. Not a single footprint other than our own. John scanned the trees down the slope. I spoke to him. "I don't know where it went, but let's head back and keep watch." All four of us agreed silently. We retreated back to the firelight, back to safety, but we kept watch until late into the night, talking softly and listening for sounds. But we heard nothing. We all decided to sleep in the same tent just in case, and to sleep with our guns at our sides. As the light from the fire died down and sleep finally came to me like a creeping shadow, just as I was drifting into the blackness of my mind, right before the inevitable pull of sleep took me into the dreaming dark, I thought I heard a sound. A distant call into the wild night, a single word in a language not of man. But maybe it was just the wind. We left the next morning, and soon winter crept back into Hannigan Meadow, back into the hidden places of the world. We had tread on forbidden ground, lands that belonged to the night, and the night came back to claim it. And that was all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you Scott for sending me this wonderful story about the perils of ever leaving your apartment. Last week I came up with this really good idea for an outro, but in my own special brand of foolishness, I just refused to write it down, thinking that I will for sure remember it later. But alas, mistakes were made, and today, when the time had finally come, my mind just went completely blank. Thus, I am forced to give you this subpar ending, my kings. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.